My name's Jared.
And I am Bethany, and we are the Royal Foundry.
And all we have is gold to piece together tonight. It's gonna be alright. I know you can let it in, so let it in for you and I. It's gonna be alright.
So you guys just did Seven Fest Music Festival. You've been touring. Tell us about how the shows have been going so far.
It's been going really good. We love playing, and we have a new album coming out, so it's been fun to try out the new songs that you've just kind of had in the studio for a couple of years. So
Yeah.
it's been nice.
Definitely. And now tell me about the name of the new record, how long it took you to record it, and what listeners should expect.
The name is Lost in Your Head.
Okay.
It took us two and a half years. I don't know, what should they expect?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is really... We started off as a folk duo before, and we had an album, and it was basically the first 10 songs that we wrote kind of went on the album because we didn't really know what we were doing. And then, like, within months, like, after that, I think one of our songs... kind of garnered some attention, and it was one of our more like poppy folk songs, and because of that our idea of like, man, are we a band, are we gonna actually do this, kind of started, and then our process of changing our sound completely began. So
Right.
What
Okay.
should they expect? I have no idea. I feel like it's one of those chaotic albums. It's pop, it's alt rock, it's electronic, it's got some slow song on it, so it's I don't know what to say. I don't know if you've seen our artwork, but it's this chaotic just mess of images, and
Right.
I wanted to reflect the sound of our album by creating this idea of it's not this boxed in genre
Right.
of an album. It's not just a pop album. It's a pop, alt rock, electronic.
It's just a kind of eclectic body of work, right?
Yes, yeah, and we're really proud of it. We're really excited about it. There is some like unification within it as well that kind of draws all the songs together in some way, shape, or form. But I think that is more reflected through our own personal styles and how we go about creating music. So that was
Right.
a long answer.
No, that's cool. That's a good answer. Do you guys find it hard to take risks in the studio like that and be daring and kind of mix these different instruments together, or does it just come naturally to you guys?
I mean, we always like to take a different approach, but it is always so much easier to be like, yeah, this direction feels right, let's do that. But it's important to stop ourselves and be like, wait a minute, let's try this at a different angle before we just go full throttle ahead.
Right. So you mentioned how you started changing your sound. How would you describe your sound in the beginning, and kind of what, I guess, inspired you to change it? Were you bored with your sound, or did you just want to try something new?
I don't think it was really boredom. I think because it was a process of like us experimenting with music. Really, we started off really simply, like, and most of our songs we start off with either just an acoustic piano or a guitar.
Okay.
And it kind of builds from there. So I think having those folk roots in establishing our sound kind of more simply in the beginning really helped us set a foundation for this new album, which took us 2 years to figure out exactly what we wanted. And because our first album was the first 10 songs we ever wrote.
Right.
We wanted to do something different, and obviously we learned along the way that you probably should write more than 10 songs before you put it on an album to kind of weed out the bad ones.
Right.
And that's what we did. We just like wrote and tried to establish a large collection of music that we could say, this one's not really our sound,
Right.
but this one is. And that's kind of where we drew the line of like, this is us and this isn't.
Very interesting.
Did that answer your question?
Absolutely. No, it's kind of cool. So literally the first 10 songs you guys wrote went on the album. How was this album released? Was it just on the internet, or was it actually like a physical release?
I mean, we had physical copies, but basically just the internet.
Right.
It wasn't distributed.
So you guys made the copies and such, and you kind of did your own thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. I think it's a beautiful. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on the fact that the internet has opened up so many new avenues for artists to just, do what you guys did, go out there, do your own thing, and now, even with the Grammys, like, you can be awarded for these things. Like, how does it feel?
It's really incredible, really. Just even the connectivity, the whole like the world is flat now.
Right.
I mean, we've had people reach out to us, remixers from Germany that want to work on a song, and I feel like that wouldn't have happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It would have been like you need to make this physical contact.
Right.
But it's just like people reach out on Facebook and we're like, hey, can I try out your song? And
Yeah.
let's collaborate, and that's awesome.
It definitely is. And I heard some of the remixes that were done of you guys' music, like super, super good work. How did you guys meet in the beginning?
I was in another band before, and we came to play in Bethany's hometown, and she was putting on this youth event and organizing that. So I saw her there, and I remember actually calling dibs to my pretty, yeah. and it worked out, and we got married.
You guys got married. How was this 2 years ago or longer?
Almost 4.
Almost 4.
Yeah.
So you guys just met and hit it off right away.
Well, I had to really wear her down.
How so?
Well, I mean, I think it was. We just so we met. He played this show, and I'm a photographer by trade. Shout out to Jesse.
Shout out
who's
to
amazing.
Jesse, is right.
So I was taking pictures of the event, and just over email, I sent him some images, and then he just kept bugging me just by replying and asking me questions and all this, and so I ended up coming to Edmonton for work and stuff, and so we'd always kind of meet up after that, and then it just happened. I mean, I feel like this is the story of our lives, and that everything that's happened between Jared and I from the beginning when we met to even opportunities that have come, or even creating music together, it's always been so natural and organic, and in that when we started writing songs together, it wasn't like, hey, let's be a band and let's write music and create an album. It was always just well, let's create this song and let's create another one, and then an opportunity would come and we would play that song, and then all of a sudden we had 10 songs, and then it was well, let's make an album, and there was no real moment in our relationship where we consciously made a decision
it just
to
kind of
say
happened naturally, right?
Yeah. So
yeah. Because I was gonna say, because you're a photographer by trade, were you a musician before? Were you involved at all, or did that just come when you guys met?
I wasn't a professional musician. I mean, I knew I had to play the guitar and a little bit of the piano and stuff like that. But over the first year, I would say, of us creating music and playing together, I learned a lot for sure. And
awesome.
Jared definitely, he's multi-instrumentalist, so he knew how to play almost every. He's one of those annoying people that picks up any instrument that he finds that he's never seen or heard of before, and then all of a sudden is playing with it. So
that's the best.
Hate him, but love him.
At what age did you start playing music?
I started at 5. My dad was a musician as well, so that was how he earned money. So
right, and he was on tour a lot, right?
Yeah.
What was that like for you growing up?
It was great. I mean, we would travel with him, and even summer holidays would be in the trailer, and we'd go play it. He'd go play at different venues, and we'd kind of, make our vacation out of that. So it was just a lot of fun being around live shows from an early age.
Right. What was the name of the group? Or was he solo?
It was Arlen Salte and Heart Attack.
Holy smokes. That all one name right there?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Heart Attack would be the band, I guess. But,
okay.
Mullet down to his butt, that sort of amazing 80s rock.
Party in the front and the back, is that what I'm hearing here? So what do you guys listen to at your house when you're just kicking it? What's your guys' favorite kind of music to listen to?
It's kind of all over the map. I mean, we like James Taylor, Arcade Fire, Killers, 9 Inch Nails, kind of whatever we're feeling at the moment.
Right. I know for a real music lover, it's hard to answer because
I know.
You're definitely into a lot of different kinds of music. Do you guys like hip hop at all?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'm not super into it. We really like Shad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper.
Childish Gambino. Yeah, he's awesome. I think it's beautiful how those guys have kind of opened up the door, like we mentioned earlier, for emerging artists. If you guys could pick one artist to go on tour with for a co-headline tour, who would it be?
I think stylistically, like Coldplay, probably, maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
I could see that working.
but if it was like your all-time favorite, I would say like Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun.
How about you?
Arcade Fire for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that it would just be so inspiring to see that show every night and be
Definitely.
a part of that.
Yeah, I can tell you guys are really influenced by them. Have you seen them before?
No, we haven't. We really want to get tickets when they come here.
Must be a goal. So that must one of your favorite groups then would be them?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Awesome.
mean, creatively and from a live standpoint, I mean, they're just phenomenal.
To download and stream the full uncut interview with the Royal Foundry, click the link in the description below and check out the Cassius Morris Show on iTunes Podcasts.